The best defense against inflation. All right, this is gonna shock many of you guys. Some, are gonna run for the hills screaming bloody murder that I'm a snake in the grass. And Al knows who I'm talking about. Very, very angry at me because I recommend this product. Do I recommend it to everybody? No. Do I recommend it to some? Yes. Do I fully intend to do it myself? Yes. It's a reverse mortgage line of credit. Oh my goodness. It's the best defense against inflation there is. Talked to a guy on Saturday, and he's thinking about doing a reverse mortgage for purchase. I told him I don't think he needed. I mean, let's put it this way: he's moving from Georgia to Texas, and he'll probably be able to get a 1-for-1 trade for. He's going to downsize, and he might even just put a modular home on his house on a piece of land down there. But I said, I don't think we'll call him Tim. Tim, I remember I referred to him the other day too. So I don't think you're going to need to get a home equity line of credit for a purchase, because you basically have a 1-for-1, and if you have a couple $10,000 to $20,000 you need to come up with, you just do that. But when you get down, and I don't know how it goes, can you get a reverse mortgage line of credit at closing? I'm not sure. I imagine it probably could, but I'd wait till he gets settled in anyway. Anyway, the point being is, he gets down there, right? Let's just say his house is $200,000. We'll just use that for an example. He's settled in, he's in Texas, all that. It costs, I think it's 2% of the appraised amount for the mortgage fee, the non-recourse loan fee, and then it's 50 basis points on the interest rate. All right, so remember, he's only opening a line of credit. He's not doing anything with it. So just FYI. If he's not doing anything with it other than the initial closing cost, there's no fee. It just sits there. Now, there might be an annual fee, all that stuff. I'm not an expert on this. Go see my man Don Graves over at Heckham Advisors. Is that what's called? HECMadvisors.com, Don Graves. I don't get any commissions. I don't get nothing from Don. You can see whoever the heck you want. I just like Don. He's a good guy. He's a Christian guy. I like that. Is he using the fish sign? No. Does it say, Josh, we're Christians together? No. Some of your business? No. He's a guy who believes in the good Lord, so I'm cool with that. And you should be too. Same group preference, man. Anyway, he's the expert. I'm not. So just FYI. Long story short. You're 62 years old. You got to be 62. Did they just reduce that? Sergio, if you're watching this, put a comment on here. Did they just reduce it to 60? I forgot. Anyway, it used to be 62 years old. So I'm 62. Charlotte's 58. We could still do a reverse mortgage as long as one person on the deed, owner occupied, is over 62. All right. So I think the principal limiting factor is, we'll say 40%, 45%. We'll just say 40%, all right, for simplicity. So we're just going to say my man Tim. He's down there in Tejas, beautiful, beautiful East Texas. He has a $200,000 home. He can take 40% of that as a home equity line of credit. Not a home equity line of credit, a reverse mortgage line of credit. A Heckham LLC. Lots of whatever that term is, we letterize everything like we do in the military. Anyway, so he has a home equity conversion mortgage line of credit, Heckham LLC, Heckham Lock. All right, so the max he can get, we'll just say 40%, is $80,000 because he has to keep 60% equity in his home when he first takes it out. Now here's the thing, my friends. He's got to come up with $4,000. I think it's 2 or 3% against the initial appraised value, not the initial line amount, the initial appraised value, right? That's a one-time fee. And it just sits there. Doesn't do anything. Except the line of credit grows as the interest rates increase. Or it grows with the interest rates. The line of credit, it grows with the interest rates. Even if you're not borrowing against it, the line of credit grows. Let's just say the total rate of interest that you would pay if you borrowed against it is 5.5. Your line of credit is growing by 5.5. Let's say the interest rates change to 7.5. Your line of credit grows to 7.5. Now, I'm not licensed on these things. I'm not an expert. I do not know the interest rates right now or anything. I just know enough to tell you to do your own doggone research. So you pay $4,000 in front-end closing costs, plus they got to do appraisal, plus they got to do all the freaking scam stuff they have to do when you're buying a house and refinancing a house. They got to do all that. There's going to be a closing cost fee, $1,500 or something like that. So it's not cheap to open up a reverse mortgage. I mean, there are fees. I don't think anyone would argue that. Your line of credit, once you start using it, there'll be a fee as well, as 0.5% on top of the interest rates that you have to pay. And that's to make sure that the taxpayer, if we're stuck holding the wet bag because your property is worth less than your loan amount when you die, that we have a recourse, i.e., we made you pay a little bit for that, so we don't give away the store, if that makes sense. I'm 100% in agreement with that. User fee, that's all it is. So now you're like, man, my man Tim, he's got $8,000 line of credit. We'll just say it grows at 6% a year, just for simplicity. $80,000, that's going to be $4,800 the next year, $5,000 next year. And now he wakes up at 70 years old, and inflation's devastated him. He's on Social Security, so cost of living adjustments on Social Security hopefully will keep up with inflation. But now he's got his emergency or his home equity conversion mortgage line of credit, which has been growing, which he can tap into tax-free as well. And that has kept up with the rate of inflation. Presumably, I can't guarantee that. But I do know if interest rates go up because inflation is going up, the home equity reverse mortgage line of credit goes up as well. It's just that simple. You lock that puppy in now while you got, while your appraised value, I mean, I know it's high, but is it going to be higher 5-10 years from now? Yes. That's the thing. If you think you're going to stay in your house, get the reverse mortgage now. So essentially you're locking in that 2 or 3% fee on the front end while your house is still as cheap as it might ever be. Now, will it jump up 25% in a year? Most likely not. But you see where I'm going with this? Like, dude, go ahead and lock that puppy in now. That way you pay the fees down and get done with it, man. I'd pay the fees out of pocket if I were you. Great way to look at protection against inflation. Heck of a lot better than stocks. Stocks go up and down. Got to pay tax on the proceeds. Home equity line of credit, reverse mortgage line of credit. It's all tax-free. Guaranteed cash. Will it be enough to pay your highfalutin living expense? No. Will it be enough to use to keep you out of the freaking poorhouse? Yeah. Should you do it? Yeah. I'm gonna. And again, that's me. You don't have to. It's cool. You're a big boy. Get your big boy pants on and do the research. Love your thoughts. See ya.